the gurus and newbies. Today we're gonna study how to develop a note keeping app from scratch. Okay, so we want to actually inculcate all what we have learned from our previous video and then put it into one app, and then we're gonna also add the SQLite so database. So this application is just like any of our note keeping apps, and then we want to actually put all what we have studied in our previous videos, all the widgets together in one application, and add an extra layer to it, that is the SQL database to our application. So let's get started. So as you can see, this will be the part one of our note keeping app, and we're gonna design this UI, and we will add some extra function code that will be very useful in our next video. Okay, good. So let's get started. So you can see this is a plain main.dat. So what we'll do is to first create a new folder inside our lib directory. So we call this screens. We will highly encourage you to also check our previous videos so that you can get the concept of all the widgets before you start this. It's highly recommended. So I create a file called note underscore list.dat list.dat DRAT. Okay, save. So now we have two files, main.dat and then note underscore list.dat. Okay, let's get started. So we're gonna implement both the stateful and then the stateless widget in this application. If you don't really understand the stateful widget, we will actually recommend you to watch our previous video. We explain that theoretically and practically. Okay, so that will be a basic foundation for this application development. Okay, so if we are on the same page, we can start. First, we have to import our main.dat inside our program. So import the Flutter material material.dat. Excellent. Okay, good. Then we save this. Okay, so material.dat. So here we have to first start with our main our main function that is starting with the void main. Okay, and inside here we have our run app. Inside here we have our run app, and inside our run app we need to have our my app here. That will be called in the next one. My app function. Okay, a function in a function. Okay, I terminate this. Excellent. Okay, so next one, you don't really need to have this here. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Now we create a separate class that will extend the my app. Okay, so we have a class that will extend my app. Okay, my app extends. Okay, extends. Watch here. Here is extending what? Stateless widget. Okay, so stateless widget. Pay close attention to this. Okay, so stateless widget, inside our stateless widget, we're gonna have our build method in here. Okay, so build method, we already know this in our previous videos. If you don't understand, we'll encourage you to watch our dedicated video for each of the widgets, and you're gonna get the full explanation of Flutter framework. Okay, so we're gonna use the material app provided by Flutter. Okay, let's put the app here. So material app provided by Flutter, and then we have explained all this in our previous videos. Okay, so we have this inside our build context, and this return material app. Here we're gonna only return the title, just the title for us to know what we're doing here, and this will not display on our screen, only for us to know what we are doing here. So we're gonna call this the note app. Okay, and then let's take off let me save this and then run. There's nothing in here, but I just want to show you something. That is why I'm trying to run this for you to see. So this is my stateful app. That is this. We are building on this. Okay, so let me open this. Okay, so before we wait for it to load, I'm gonna override the default theme inside our Flutter app. To do that, we use what we call the theme property. Okay, here, and then with the theme, we can have the theme data. Yes, and this theme data have a lot of properties we can use in here. Okay, so but first, let me finish this. I'll show you. So here we see a lot of what properties. If you want to customize your app, you can use the theme data and then have a predefined colors, predefined sizes, and all that, so that you can be calling in your code to override what Flutter has provided. So here we'll be using one of the properties, and that will be primary search color. So it's just a color. So in here we're gonna use the primary search. Okay, so primary search. Okay, and that will be the color, the default color of application. Okay, so we use the colors dot deep purple. Okay, let's use deep purple. Excellent. Okay, good, great. Okay, so deep purple. Then after the deep purple, we're gonna create a function inside this note underscore list or that. But let me say a class. Yeah, a class. So, but we need to define a class here. Okay, so I'm calling the home, and then do something in here. Okay, so we have the error here because we have not actually done this. We have this screen. But let me finish this, then I will show you this. Before I add this has run, so let me show you this. I want to take off the debug banner from this. Always when you create the application, you will have this as a default banner here. But since this is our main application, we'll be putting probably on the Play Store and also on the store for people to use. So we are taking off the debug mode. Okay, so to take that one off, we need to simply use a line of code that is debug show check mode banner. Then we put this to force. Okay, force. Then I save the application. This is gonna go off. Okay, perfect. So it's now off using only this line of code. Excellent. Then I'm gonna add the home and then our yet to define a class inside our note underscore list or that. Okay, so we were gonna call this the note lists. It will be a note list class. Okay, so I save this. So let's go ahead and then create this note list class inside our what? Our file, this file. Okay, good. So we come here and then we start to create that class. But before we create that class, we need to first import the Flutter material of that in here. So we import that one here, and then after that we have our class, and this class should be the same name as the one we called in our main. Okay, so class name is this, and this will extend a stateful widget. So you see in our this file, we're gonna actually implement the stateful what? The stateful widget here. But in our main, we use the stateless. All right. Okay. So in this class, we need to have the stateful widget here. We need to have our state here. Stateful. We need to create state. Create states. Okay, perfect. So This is our first watch. If you watch our previous video where we have an explicit video of how to understand the stateful widget, you will know the meaning of this. This first, we need to create state for our stateful widget, and that will also return another class in here. And this class, we will add this later, but let me add the name here. Return that class, and it will be similar to this, but the second one will be the state. Okay, state, yes, and then we terminate this. Okay, perfect. So we return this one inside our what? Our immutable what? Immutable class. We taught this in our other video. Good. So now let's create the mutable what class. Mutable class. To create that, it is really simple. It's just a simple class, yes, with the name of this return we have already predefined there. So this is note list states, and then it extends. Let's watch here. It extends. Oh, why didn't I even do this? Let me see. State. States widget builder. Oh no. Okay. So it's actually the same class like this, but a bit similar. Then we have the state here, okay, and then it extends what? A state. But here you see we have the stateful widget. Here it will be a state, and then a what? It will now have a. It will now have this name as a parameter for the state. Yes, it extends this rather, okay. So we have this in here, and then the next one is to have the creator inside, that is the build. Here we don't have the create, method, but we have, instead of having this, we have the build method here, because this is a mutable what class, okay. So build context in here, and inside this we're gonna have our scaffold, okay. We're gonna return the scaffold here. That will be our UI design scaffold. Okay. So for scaffold, inside our scaffold we'll be having the app bar, okay, app bar, and inside this we'll have our title, and the title, no, let's have the title in here, okay. So we need to use the title widget, okay, or the test widget rather, but it begins with title, and then we have the tests, and then the test will have the name of our what? App in the app bar. So we're gonna call this the notes keeping app, okay. Good. So note keeping app. All right. So that is it for our app bar. Okay. Okay. So after our app bar, still inside the scaffold, we need to have our body, and the body we're gonna have a floating action bar, and also we're gonna have another class beneath it, and that class will actually be the dynamic state change of our what? Stateful widget, okay. So we use the keyword body, and then we let's get the name of the other what class, and then I'm gonna name that the get note list view, okay. Very easy, okay, perfect. Then after that, I'm gonna add the floating bottom. Okay, floating bottom. Okay, then the floating bottom, we're gonna have a inside the floating bottom, we're gonna have the on a press handler, and on press handler we'll also have an anonymous function. Okay, I don't need this one is off. Okay, so this will be the on the press, and the on press will have an anonymous function in here, and inside the anonymous function we only have to display something on the console for you to see. So we use the debugger print. Okay, debugger print statement, and that will only print a test on the screen for us. Okay, so let's say uh action button button sorry action button clicked. Okay, excellent. Then we terminate this. Perfect. Then on our floating button, let's see, we need to have the toolbar. Yeah, if you don't really understand the floating action bar, we have a dedicated video on that. You can cross check our other videos. So the toolbar will only show on our floating action button. Okay, so let's say add note. Perfect. Okay, so we have the toolbar on our floating action button, and then we're gonna have an icon also on it, a plus icon. But to do that, we need to call the child keyword, and then we add the icon. Let me use this icon inside this. Oh no, inside this. Oh, okay, no problem. We call this icons dot the art. Art is just a button provided by Flutter. So we have several of them, but we use the art. Perfect. So we are done with our mutable class. This is immutable class, and this is mutable class. If you want to get the understanding, you can check our how to understand our stateful widget in our previous video. Okay, so let's go to the real state code where things are gonna change during the runtime. So we have this here. We create this one. This is actually a function we're gonna create, and this is a list view function. So to do that, we use the list view keyword provided by Flutter, and then we have our function in here. Okay, oh no, this should be after this. Okay, perfect. So in here we already have this one, the theme. So I want to use the theme, the default theme star for this what or this state, and it's gonna be the test star. I'm applying this to our UI. That is why I'm calling this here. So it's this to customize. So we call the test star, and test star. Okay, inside test star. Okay, so for our test star, we're gonna have no test star. Let's call only the title here first. Okay, so test star, then the title star. Okay, title star is equal to what our theme, that is our default theme, and that theme will be off our contests. The context we already have that. and then dot our tests. Which tests? We need to have a test theme from our main, okay, so that we override our default material that. Then we're gonna use a subtitle. This will be the subhead. The old one is subhead. Old that you need to use, or Flutter you need to use the subhead, but that has been depreciated. So we use the subhead one. Okay, subhead one. All right, perfect. And then now let's add our real list view. How we gonna display our list on our to-do app? So return list view dot builder. This will help us display the view we want to use. List view dot builder, perfect. This one. And here list view dot builder. Let me terminate this. Okay, I open it wide. We'll be having this property here too. Okay, good. But before this, I want to add a count that we will be using to help us display the number of what? The number of lists we're gonna display anytime we add a note. Okay, so we have the count, and this count we need to make sure we initialize this, otherwise it's gonna tell us this count is not defined. Okay, so we need to add the count to our mutable class here, that is int count should be initiated or initialized to what? 0. So count is equal to 0. Perfect. Okay, so here let's continue with our item builder. Okay, item builder, and then item builder. Okay, so for the item builder here, we need to have a parameter of the build context here too. Okay, so the build context here, and it takes the context here as well. And after the context, we need to have a position of our lists. So position int, and it's gonna return an int. So int position, then we have this builder. Inside the builder, we're gonna have a tall list of properties will be added inside this builder. Okay, okay, good, we are on the right path. So build contests, correct, int position. Okay, good. And then we have our test_theme of. All right, so inside our item builder, let's now add our display, how we want our our list view to look like. We're gonna display it in the card format, so we use the card list view. Okay, and the card list view, or let me see, the card, yes, okay, card, this one is for list builder. Let me check this. A list builder. And then this is for what? Item builder. Item builder. Okay. Let's be careful with this. Good, perfect. Okay. So inside return card, the return card, we gonna have the color property in here. Color, and we have colors dot white. Okay, we're gonna use the white color for our card. Okay, then we're gonna add the elevate. If you don't understand this, kindly check our list view dedicated video for our list view. You understand everything in here. Okay, so let's use the elevator 2.0. Then we'll have the list style. We need to first call the child, and then we have our list what? List style, perfect. And for the list style, we need to, inside the list style, we need to have our leading background color and then the icon. Okay, so for that, let's add the leading inside the list style like this. Okay, so list style leading. Okay, so leading, and our leading will have a child. No, do we have to use the child? No, let's use an avatar for our leading. Okay, so that it will really look really nice. So we're gonna use an avatar, and the Flutter provided this avatar, the circle avatar, really cool. So this circle avatar like this. Okay, and this circle avatar, we're gonna have a background for this background, and this background will have colors dot yellow. Okay, so let's use yellow for this. Okay, good, perfect. Then inside this our avatar, we're gonna also define icon. So in the avatar we should have an icon, but to do that it should be a child of this. So we call this, and this icon we use the icons dot icons. Okay, icons dot, what should we use? Maybe the key arrow right is cool. Key arrow right, yes, it's provided by Flutter. We have a lot of them, but we use the key arrow right. Okay, so for the key arrow right, yeah, I think we are done for this card design and our avatar. We are done for this, but after this we're gonna add a title to our what? Our list view. Okay, so our list view, let's add a title. After we have this avatar icon, we need to have the title. So inside the list style, let's still add the title, and then the title takes a text widget, and inside the text widget we'll say the dummy title. All right, so text, let's say a dummy what? Uh, yeah, like this. We'll first have, let's say this will be a dummy title because we'll change it later. This is a dummy title. Perfect. Okay, so we'll attach a style to this dummy title, and then the style will be inherited from our theme. So let's use the style. Then we call the title style above. Okay, yes, so we are inheriting this. Okay, this one, and this is of our theme. We have already added that in our main. Okay, so this is the dummy title. After our title, we're gonna add a subtitle to this here, still in the list tab. So subtitle, as the name implies, subtitle, and then this also takes a text widget. Okay, text widget, and for this widget, we will also have a dummy data in here, and then this dummy data will be, let's say, the subtitle will actually be the date. When we create, anytime we create a list, a note, we will have the date. So let's say this is dummy date. Okay, dummy date will be the subtitle, and then the dummy date. Okay, and after our dummy date, we will have let me call this here. Okay, so after a dummy date, let's have trailing. Trailing simply means at the end of your list view, what do you want to display? We want to display a delete icon here. That is the trailing. That is the ending of our what? Our test view. And then for the trailing, we will have an icon of delete. Okay. So here we'll have icons dot delete. So this delete is just an icon provided by Flutter. So that is really cool to call. So we have icons dot delete, and after that, what else? Icons dot delete. Inside the trailing, we'll be have the trailing. We'll be having the icon dot delete, and then we need to change the icon to a really cool color. That will be, let's say we use a gray color. Okay, so colors. We have a colors dot gray. Okay, so many colors. Oh, gray. Actually, no, gray. Let's use the gray. Okay. Yes, I like this one. Good, perfect. After that, now inside our list style, this is the real deal, okay? And inside our list style, we can also perform an action. But to perform the action, we need to use what we call the action handler. So for example, we can use the on tab here. Anytime we want to perform an action, we can use the on tab or the on tab press, long press, and then we have an anonymous function. Inside the anonymous function, we will only display a message inside the console. We will change this later on in our next episode. Okay, so debug print, and what are we gonna print? We're gonna print probably list style is tabbed. All right, so list style is tabbed. Okay, tabbed. Perfect. Then I terminate this. Excellent. Now We are almost done. Oh, but we're having some one or two errors here. Okay. Now, what do we have to do? Oh, we don't need this. Here, clear that one off. Save. Okay. Next, we need to call this file inside our main. So let us import the file. Import. What are we going to import? Import a package, and that package should be from our app. Okay, so my stateful app, stateful, this is the name of the app, my stateful app. Yeah, so my stateful app slash my stateful app. Yes, screens. We select the screen because we have the file inside our screen folder. Perfect. Okay, so we have imported this file. Okay, so to import package, the name of the app, the folder in which the file is, and this is the actual file. Perfect. Okay, so here, let's watch. We still have this. We still have this, but we have this here. Let me see. Let's watch this carefully, and then we run the application. Okay, let me see. Let's bring this here. Let's make this locally here. Come in. Okay, so we got the count right. Then what about this? Contests. Create a local. Okay. Count. No. Okay, so this should be off from here. Count. Item count. Okay. This context is defined. Okay, so let me see. So we have a builder of context, yes. Builder of context dot test team, yes. Test team dot, yeah, correct. Everything is really working fine, but let's see this. I wanna find out this problem. What if we clear this? And then, okay, let me take out this, and then this. Okay, perfect, good. So it has actually inherit what? This one. It has actually inherit our what theme, because we have actually called this what stateful class at this side, so it will automatically inherit that. Good. So that is the end of this part. Okay, we will continue with the next UI. We'll create another file, and then since we don't want the video to be very lengthy, we're gonna end this and then create the other UI in the another file. Okay, so let's check this first. So we added an on tab here. So when we click on this, you see action button clicked, action button click, action button click, numbers are increasing. Good, so it's working. Then we have our note keeping app title here. There's nothing in here. The next video we're gonna add another UI to it. So let's end this and we say peace. Watch our other part, and then you're gonna have the full complete video on the next part. All right.